Good afternoon. She's afternoon. I don't know about you, but today, whoa, are we feeling the lockdown? Let me know when you jump on how you are feeling. We are going live on my Facebook page. We're going live in our Exhale Free community. We are going live on YouTube. So I'm just going to give it a minute for people to join us before I get into what I want to talk about today. But if you watch this on the replay, we really enjoy hearing what you thought. We really enjoy knowing who watches our videos. There's loads of you that watch and just operate at a distance. You don't have to be afraid. Reveal yourself. So as you jump on, please do say hello if you wish. I'd love to know how you are. If you are watching on the replay, do the same, but also use the hashtag replay. So today I've woken up in not the best of moods, despite an amazing weekend. I think it's just the heaviness of what's going on in the world around us. But I have used some of our amazing exhale techniques to kind of pick myself back up again and to allow myself to sit in the I don't know how else to describe it other than the absolute sense of overwhelm at the response that we have had to our AR-free 3-day challenge, which was taking place in our group, taking people from meditator to meditation instructor and to our training program. So we've had so many amazing women sign up to be part of our beautiful Exhale team and to become Exhale instructors and meditation instructors. So that's the first thing I want to say is I just want to celebrate those women that have really tuned into their big dreams, their big goals, and they've taken action towards it by becoming part of the Exhale family. And I speak on behalf of all the instructors. We're all super duper excited at the impact that we're now going to be able to have. That's what we do it for. You know, the more people that join us as instructors, the more people that are teaching out in the world, the more people we can help. These techniques have changed our lives. So every single instructor that joins us has their own similar story, talking about how meditations helped with their anxiety, helped with their sense of self-love, their confidence, improved their relationships. You know, for me in particular, it allowed me to connect with myself again in such a way that I went from really feeling quite lost, quite anxious, quite is not even the right word, very anxious, really depressed. And I'm now able to live a life like this where I get up every day and I do a job that just feels joyful. So that's the gift that I want to give to you as well. If you're watching now, if you're an instructor, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you're thinking about it, just sit back, get a brew, have a little breather from homeschool or whatever else you're doing, and just settle in while I talk you through the real truth about being a meditation instructor. So I'm going to be quite honest, I'm going to be quite open. I'm going to talk about the highs, the lows, and everything in between. I'm going to talk about startup costs. I'm going to talk about ongoing costs. I'm going to talk about how it affects your energy, talk about the potential, the opportunities, of which there are many. Let's have a look at the comments and see who is with me. Hi, Anne-Marie. So yeah, Marie says she wrote, let's put this on the screen so people can see, woke up feeling so meh. Is that the emoji there, isn't it? It's hard work being an empath sometimes. Absolutely. This live, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So for those of you who don't know what an empath is, although most of you that watch this channel do know what that is because they are one as well. But empaths are really deeply feeling, highly sensitive individuals. Myself included, I am an empath. And I think pretty much, I would say pretty much all of the instructors that we have are empaths as well. And what that means is that we take on, or we feel, other people's energy, and sometimes we take that on as our own. It's quite difficult for us to distinguish between what's ours and what is the collective consciousness and what is the world. What is the world's? So at the moment, in these times of change, instability, fear, worry, anxiety because of the pandemic, us as empaths take that on. So I absolutely feel you. Chloe is saying that she is definitely an empath too. I think pretty much the whole meditation instructor community are empaths. And do you know what's really good about being an empath is that our capacity to feel things, our capacity to be moved by things, our capacity to embody things and take things on actually reflects our capacity to love. You know, so the more that you feel, the more that you're able to love. So it's a really, really good thing, actually. It's really powerful. And actually, it's a trait of a healer. Generally, healers have these kind of qualities as well. So we're going to say hello to Barbara. So we've got Chloe, Barbara. Let me know who else is there as you come on. So I'm going to get into it now. So I just want to say, oh my word, how lucky am I to have this job. So I remember every other job I've ever had, I've woken up in the morning thinking, oh no, I don't want to go to work. Sundays were horrendous because you'd go to bed thinking, oh, I've got to get up tomorrow and go back to work. You know, I remember when I was an air hostess, and what an amazing job that was, traveling around the world. But there were points when you'd be on standby, so you'd be at home and you'd be thinking, well, maybe I'll strike it lucky and this will be a day off, or maybe I'll get called out and I'll have to go into work, you know, to cover for somebody that was sick, or to take over from a crew that had run out of flying hours, or whatever it was. And I remember days when that phone rang and I burst into tears because I just didn't want to do it. And I was exhausted, I was tired. And one of the main reasons why I was so tired was because I wasn't really fulfilling my purpose. One of the big sort of warning signs that our body gives us that things are not quite in alignment is this absolute sense of exhaustion. You know, yes, we become exhausted through pushing too hard, through leaning too much into our masculine, so too much doing, not enough turning inwards. But a really big sign of you not being perhaps on the right path is that it doesn't feel good, and we have this sense, this overwhelming sense of about to burn out all the time, like I just can't carry on, I can't keep on doing it. So that's the space that I was in. I then changed careers, went on to become a teacher. I absolutely loved that as well, but there was still something that was not quite missing. Something that was missing. And now I wake up every day and I'm like, literally like, oh my gosh, I get to go and talk on Facebook Live, which did used to scare the hell out of me. Hold people as they walk on their own journey of healing. I get to sit alongside people that I care about, but also people that I've not, you know, that I instantly kind of connect with because they trust me. You know, meditation instructors, another word for meditation instructor is meditation guide. You know, we take you by the hand, we guide you down your own path of healing, and what an absolute pleasure and privilege it is to walk alongside people on that journey to healing. And what an absolute pleasure and a privilege as well to be able to hold the vision of those people that sit with us, the people that come and meditate with us, to hold the vision of them whole, healed, perfect, and living from this place of calm, where they have creativity, where they feel like they have clarity, where they have confidence, where they're reconnected with their courage. Facilitating that process, I can't even put into words how that feels. And you can literally see the tension, you can literally see the pain, you can literally see all of the anxiety melt away from people's faces and bodies. And to sit and witness that particularly when you're working with people, you know their backstory, you know what they're dealing with, and particularly when you're working with children, oh, there's just something so magical. I can't do it justice by putting it into words. But if there's any instructors that are watching, and I know a couple of them are, I absolutely know that you will back me up in saying that there is nothing quite like that feeling. So I've also got Marie and Emma on as well. Hello. So absolutely, I can't stress that enough. It's an absolute privilege to be able to do this job. And the feedback that you will receive when you become a meditation instructor, we don't do it for the feedback, but to know that you've made that kind of impact in the world is just, it's just gorgeous. So people will say to me, I've not slept properly in years, and they'll come and do an exhale class and they'll sleep the night through, and you're like, oh my gosh, the difference that will make to that person's life. When you look at people and they say, you know, finally I'm embracing who I am, I'm speaking my truth, you know, they're developing their own sense of self-love, what could be better than that? It's like a gift. And what's really amazing about this job as well is that it's really healing for us. So I always say to the instructors as well, is that what comes through you is meant for you. So what comes through you is meant for you. So anyone that's been to an exhale class with me will know that I don't use scripts. So our instructors get provided with class plans, a class structure, a playlist and script. And that's amazing because it's taking out all the guesswork. It makes it so much easier, so much more freeing, so much less time consuming to do this job. But for me, I guide people in meditation without a script. So I connect to my higher self, I connect in with the energy, and what comes out of my mouth, it's almost like it's not me speak, it's coming from somewhere else. Anybody else ever experienced that, doing something like that, when you're absolutely in the flow of whatever you're doing and it's just coming, everything just syncs all together, everything's just in alignment, in flow, and what comes out your mouth, you afterwards, you're like, I don't know where that came from, but that was amazing. When we're doing that, it's really powerful for us, because I absolutely believe, and this is something that my coach tells me, all of my mentors and meditation guides of my own have talked to me about in the past, is that what comes through you is for you. So sometimes we look at what we've said, sometimes we read the scripts out and we know it intellectually to be true. And you might be watching some of my lives, for example, or a training or whatever it is, and you're like, I already knew that. But there's something in the way that that person said it, in the moment that they said it, that really in that particular moment, everything just lined up so that you felt it in your heart, you felt it in your soul for the first time. So you might know it intellectually, but now we're feeling it through the heart space, through the soul space. And that's what happens when we are teaching meditation. So when we guide people, we're also guiding ourselves, because what comes through you is meant for you. I love those moments. That's one of my most favorite parts about being a meditation instructor, is that actually we're fueling and feeding our own soul. It's beautiful. Let's see what Emma said. So Emma's saying that she has done some free flow meditations, have an idea about where I'd like to go, and then let the words flow. A lot of that is about trust and surrender to the process. A lot of it is believing in that notion that those clients that are sat in front of you, those students that are sat in front of you, are meant for you, and that your journey, your experience, and therefore the language that you use, and therefore the stories and the imagery that you use, are absolutely perfect for those people that are in that space. You literally can't get it wrong, but it's a big journey that we have to go on as meditation instructors to be able to trust that. So I know that Emma's been on a massive journey with her confidence, and maybe at the start, correct me if I'm wrong, Emma, but at the start of her exhale journey, that doing something like that where she's free flow through meditations would have been absolutely out of the question. You know, to surrender enough to the present moment, to surrender enough to your own wisdom, to turn inwards enough. That takes a lot. And that's something that we're really passionate about developing in our instructors. So yes, we give, like I say, we give you the class plans, we give you the structures, and we give you the, it's a formula that absolutely 100% works. But what we really love to do is to bring you out. You're the magic ingredient. So we help you develop your own signature style. So Chloe is saying it's definitely a journey that she's been on too. Her confidence has increased so much. It's about trust, knowing you're in exactly the right place. You've been perfectly placed. There are no accidents in this life. And I've probably said this on one of these lives before, but even the person you're standing next to in the queue at Tesco, you are placed next to that person. Maybe it's about your energy, just supporting and holding that person for a moment. As an empath, we do that really easily, really naturally, probably without even knowing about it. But also just about the interactions. People always say, sometimes a smile, just sometimes hello, just making someone feel seen, making someone feel held and supported and loved just by your energy, which is something, again, that we work on with our instructors. That, you're there exactly the right time in exactly the right place on purpose by divine timing, by design. So Emma's saying having that certainty there helped in the beginning. It was a safety blanket to catch you until you're ready. That's absolutely it as well. Like we're all, I think when Emma was a teacher, there's quite a few people that work in that kind of industry. We've got quite a few yoga teachers, healers, people that are used to sort of presenting, if you like. And then we've got some people that are absolutely brand new to doing anything like this. So the structure of the class plans will support you and hold you until you're ready. But there is nothing quite like it when you freestyle it. What I wanted to talk about now is kind of why this job is so fulfilling. So like I said right at the beginning, a lot of the time when we feel that heaviness about going to work, about doing our job, it's because there's a part of us that knows that you're meant for more. There's a part of you that knows that you're not quite fulfilling your purpose. And one of the ways that we can look at how we feel more fulfilled in our job, how we feel more connected to our sense of purpose, is by looking at our human needs. So I've spoke about this a lot, but as human beings, we all have six different. Tell my brain is frazzled by homeschool. Six different human needs. And they are the need to feel stable, to feel secure in your surroundings, in your environment. Obviously, at the moment, none of us have got that, which is why we're all so on edge all the time. So it's stability. The second human need that we have is that need to change our state. The third, and that's why we love doing things like going to the cinema, going to a theme park. We love drinking, we love dancing, we love eating, we love anything that kind of gives us that kind of buzz where we feel uplifted, energized, or changed. Sometimes it works the opposite way, where we want to feel more relaxed than we were. It's those shifts in consciousness, we all have those as human needs. We also have the need for significance, to feel seen and heard by others. We also have the need for connection. And those four I've spoken about a lot on these slides, but there are two others as well. So the other two human needs that, again, we all have, and some of them are higher priority needs. So depending on you, your experience, your life, your likes, your wants, your desires, your need for each human need will be different. So I might be a person that needs more connection than you say, but you might be more driven by the need for security. So we're all different, but these needs all exist within us all. And the other two are the need for contribution. So the need to contribute to the world. So this is in order for you to feel truly fulfilled in life. You need to feel that you contribute in some ways. That might be through charity work, it might be through your job, it might be through the way that you bring your children up, it might be through the way that you support your family, but you need to have a sense of contribution. The other thing, the other need, the last need, is the need for spiritual growth. So people might not necessarily use the word spiritual, but there is this need for a sense of growth, a need for a sense of exploration into the meaning and wider context which we live in. So this need to kind of explore the possibility that there is more to life than just the here and now in this moment. There's also connected to that need to learn about ourselves and to learn about others. It's not necessarily connected to the universe or connected to spirituality or soul or any of those things, but we have those 6 needs. I could go through each one of those needs and tell you why being a meditation instructor allows me to meet each one of those needs for myself, but in particular, those last 2 things. So what changed everything for me in terms of my sense of fulfillment, my sense of like feeling powerful, feeling connected, feeling strong and confident and alive. There's no bones about it. It took me till I was like 36, 37 to really fully understand what it meant to feel alive and to feel fulfilled in that way. And it's when I started to do those last two needs. So we can pretty much help ourselves to find that sense of stability through things like having a meditation practice in the first place. That change of state, again, meditation allows you to be able to change your state really healthily, really easily. Nothing wrong with the other ways of doing it, like the theme pots and the drinking and the dancing and whatever else. I do all of those as well. But my first go-to keep myself nice and healthy, spiritually, emotionally, physically, is meditation. I also can look for connection, inside myself through meditation, but also through my friends, my family. That need for significance, the need to feel held and heard and seen. The first way that we have to do that before we can expect anybody else to do that for us is to hear ourselves, is to turn within. Again, that's what meditation can do for you. But these last 2, they're the ones that made the difference for me. So when I became a meditation instructor, when I started that journey, both of those boxes were ticked, if you like. So I finally felt like actually something that I'm doing here is absolutely in alignment with who I am as a person. It's a beautiful expression of who I am. But it's also making a difference in the world. I finally felt like, actually, do you know what? What I do makes a difference to people, and there's nothing better, and I don't mean that from a really big-headed ego place. It's the truth. Sharing these practices, I know it makes a difference because it made a massive difference for me, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. And I've said in the past that these techniques and these tools actually literally saved my life. So I don't, I'm not shy about talking about how amazing these tools are and the fact that the contribution that we make and that my team makes is giving me goosebumps thinking about the impact that my instructors or our instructors, Team Exhale, has on the world, and how we're going to move forward, how we're going to continue to do that is just massive. That sense of contribution is really important to me, and it's really important for you too. It's something, like I say, that's built into us. It's a human need. And as I say, the second one is kind of more obvious, that spiritual growth. When you're teaching people meditation, you cannot help but grow yourself. Part of the process of learning to be able to teach meditation is that we sit alongside ourselves, just like we ask our clients to do. We go on those journeys with them. We have to do that first and alongside them. Like I said before, when you're reading a script or when you're in that free flow, or when you're talking about experiences or sharing wisdom, things that you've read or heard or learned from your own meditation instructor, from your own mentor, if you like. Again, when that's coming through you and you're sharing it, you can't help but start to embody that. So Marie is saying, give me some thumbs up or love hearts if this resonates with you, if you know what I'm on about. It's an absolute gift and a pleasure and a privilege to do this job. Marie saying, but always felt there was more for me, but couldn't put my finger on what it was. Yeah, exactly. And that's a theme that is really, really common in terms of our instructors. It's like you could do any job really, but we're just sitting in that space before we find. And I do think that this is a path that you that you journey upon that, like I say, has been predestined. You know, you've been pushed and nudged along, and finally you take the action and follow those divine breadcrumbs that the universe leaves us to this to start this beautiful career. But it's absolutely true of so many of our instructors that they're just like, I'm not sure what it is, can't quite put my finger on it, but there is something that's missing, and I want to feel excited. And who wouldn't want that, to feel excited and alive about what they do? And I remember once I went to a corporate setting, and I did maybe 6 30-minute sessions back to back. And one of the people that was there as part of the sessions was like, oh my word, is like this actually your job? I can't believe it. And I was like, I can't believe it. I just get to sit here and guide you to sort of doing that back to back all day long. And you know what's really beautiful, and the instructors will back me up on this as well, is that actually you, when we sit you down and you meditate with us, it's like pressing the reset button on you. So we help you to go deep into your subconscious. We drop you so we can get rid of some limited beliefs, some fears, some doubt, all that doubt, all that worry, so that you can operate from this really confident, calm, creative place. But also we allow you to release endorphins, which just a really good feel-good hormone, which you get the same when you go out running. We also allow you to experience the rush of oxytocin, which is the same, it's like a bonding hormone, which is released during sex, which is released when we are kissing somebody that we really like. You know, when it's also released when you cuddle your baby or when you're breastfeeding. You know, it's like a beautiful hormone, which makes you feel bonded and connected to yourself, also makes you feel loved. You know, and we're giving that gift to our clients, to our students as they sit before us, but also we're experiencing it too. Because when we're leading you through breath work, when we're taking people through our beautiful mindful movement sequences, when we're immersed in the music, which is healing in itself, you can't help but press the reset button on yourself. So every single time I sit down to teach, I come away feeling better. It's like someone's led me in meditation. I've led myself through meditation. But what I also wanted to talk about, so that's awesome. Thank you for those of you that shared so far. Let's have a look. See, Chloe's with me. She gets me. I always find at the end of class, I'm like, release. I needed that too. It's really, that's it again. And that goes back to that concept of that knowing, that wisdom, that ancient wisdom that says that what comes through you is meant for you. You know, perfect. Did want to talk a little bit about the responsibility associated with becoming a meditation instructor. So one of the things, and it's not, I was going to talk about the lows of being a meditation instructor. There aren't any, there are a few, but there's not many lows, and I probably will get onto that if I have time. But this is one of the things I did want to bring up, that whilst it is a privilege and a gift and a joy, it is a responsibility and something that we don't take lightly. So one of the things that really bugs me about this industry is that there are so many meditation instructor courses now, which kind of like a one day, go in, really cheap, no support, no accountability, no opportunity for safeguarding. Nobody is there to walk alongside you once you've qualified, and you're just kind of unleashed onto the world. And it's a big responsibility to ask people to go deep, to essentially, meditation is a healing tool. What meditation will do for the vast majority of people is an enjoyable, stress relieving, beautiful, powerful experience that feels beautiful. But occasionally meditation does what it's meant to do, and it brings things to the surface that you've maybe not necessarily dealt with before, or that you've buried, emotions and feelings and memories that you might not be ready to deal with or might not want to deal with. So it's really, really important that you remember that as a meditation instructor, that you are putting yourself in a situation where you have your own safety net, where you have a community around you which are experienced and able to support you and that person through that experience for them, but also to make sure that you know the signs to spot when somebody needs signposting to a mental health professional, for example. Now, this I will say absolutely, it is so rare, but it does happen. And so it is a responsibility. It's also a responsibility. You know, you can't take people down this journey and then leave them there hanging. You know, you sign up, and we really honor the ancient practice of, you know, mentor student. When you ask someone to come and sit with you, you become their teacher, if you like. And I don't mean guru, because we've spoke about that on lives before, that there's a difference between a guru and a meditation instructor. You know, we're not expecting any of our instructors or anyone that becomes a meditation instructor necessarily to be able to write these tomes of wisdom. You know, the ancient texts support us and hold us in this space and give us all of the wisdom that we need alongside that resides within. But we start that relationship and we agree to walk alongside that person. You know, so it's like you start that journey, you've got to carry on with that person. It's beautiful because you do become connected to that person. You know, obviously there's that professional distance, but you can't help but become more connected to their journey and watching them grow and heal and change. And even if it's just that they come and they just have a nana nap. When I first started teaching meditation, a lot of the people that came to my classes were mums just like me with little children. They'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm coming for the nana nap. You know, and they were really oblivious to all of the health benefits and the subconscious benefits and the fears that we were releasing and the confidence that we were instilling back in them, you know, like slowly that's going in. But to them, it's like this amazing opportunity to have a nana nap, you know. But it's really important that you take that responsibility seriously. And like I said right at the beginning, that we have, usually we're empaths. Hi, Joe. Thank you for commenting. As empaths, we take on other people's energy. Almost, and quite often I take on other people's worries. And I feel anxious and I don't know why. You know, it's our responsibility to take on rituals and habits and use tools and techniques which help us protect our own energy. One of the ways that I've done that this morning, and this might help you, Anne-Marie, if you're still on, is that I've used music. I've had a gorgeous shower, and I've done a shower meditation, which I know Emma loves as well, where essentially you stand underneath the shower and you imagine, I do this every morning, I imagine that the water's coming down onto my head and it's washing away all of the negativity, washing away anything that's holding me back. And you can imagine the water coming down as golden or light or whatever you want to see it as, you know, whatever colour comes to your mind as you're doing it. And then it can wash away all of that negative vibes that we might have soaked up. And what's really interesting is that when we teach a class, because everyone surrenders so deeply, if you teach the class well, there is almost, you can feel the energy. I remember doing classes before where I could almost feel it with my hands. I could feel it like pulsating, you know, and that was on a retreat that I did. And that was really powerful. But all of that is swirling. And if you're not protecting your energy, if you're not using rituals or using intentions or affirmations or however else you want to do it to protect your energy, you will soak all of that up. Really, really important that you have practices in place, that you have a mentor or someone to support you and guide you through it. Again, I can't stress that enough. Having a mentor in place is going to make the difference in terms of your motivation levels, in terms of when you are feeling tired, when you are feeling a little bit drained because you've given everything to your clients. Your mentor is there to pick you back up, or your community is there to pick you back up. Whether it means that you go to one of their sessions for healing yourself. So you go to, quite often I see in the instructor community, it's something that I love about Exhale is that the girls will say, I'm doing a class on Tuesday night, who wants to come? Because quite often as healers, we are forgotten about. Who heals the healers, So it's really, really important you top yourself back up. We charge our phones all day long. When do we charge ourselves up? And remember, as a healer, you can only really truly heal when you're filled up yourself. Really importantly, you look after your own, and things will come up for you as well. So it's really important that on your meditation journey, when you're deepening in your practice, that you have somebody, when you're training to teach yourself, you have somebody who's got your back long after the in-person practical training days. And that's something that Exhale offers for you. So really quickly, I wanted to talk about the startup costs. So I know some of you are considering this as starting up a new business or adding this as an extra service. Let's have a look. So before I go on to that, let's see what everyone's saying. So Anne-Marie is saying that in the shower as well, I always seem to close my eyes and breathe just on impulse. Exactly. And I think there's something really healing about water, actually. And it's probably quite often it's the only time we have on our own, isn't it? Especially at the moment during lockdown. So it's quite nice to be trapped in the bathroom on our own. I'm always in there for ages. And then my little boy moans, my boyfriend moans. Like the other day he cooked me breakfast and I was like, I'm just doing my makeup. Let me just do my makeup. I just see the moment on my own. It's the only space we get, isn't it? Emma is saying it's wonderful to head to someone else's class. It's wonderful to receive it too. Yeah, exactly. So make sure you don't forget about yourselves. It is classic of healers to give and forget about ourselves. You come first. You can't fill from an empty cup. So startup costs are really low. That's what's amazing about this industry, is that most other businesses, the startup costs, I can't remember what it was, but I looked this up the other day because I was like, hang on a minute, we're starting a business, extremely low startup costs. I'm sure it was something like £25,000 was the average startup cost. And we're looking at just paying for your training. And then if you're going to teach at the moment in the midst of the pandemic, you'll need to have your Zoom subscription, and you'll also need to have your music license. Other than that, the startup costs are really low. With Exhale, so if you join a community like Exhale, we have a licensing agreement. So when you join for training, you obviously pay for your training, you get a full year of a license to be able to teach our Exhale classes, use all our graphics, use our support system, so our mentor system, our safeguarding system. Emma does beautiful bite-sized mini trainings for us each month. We give you a graphics pack each month, and we do business development calls each month, and we have a beautiful on-call community, if you like. To have the benefit of all of that, after the first year, after your training, you will then pay a yearly fee, which is £150. So it's nothing really, to be able to piggyback on our credibility. So our clients become your clients. It gives you that little bit of extra social proof. It gives you, obviously, our marketing campaigns you're able to benefit from as well. So some of you will have seen ads for this live, for the challenges that we've done, but also for our classes in general. So we put money into supporting you and your businesses. So really, the startup cost is really low and the income potential is really, really high. So I always talk to my instructors about how important it is to try and offer packages rather than just standalone pay-as-you-go classes, unless you want that to be your niche. And I do know people that teach in that way, and that's their niche, that you don't have to book in advance, you just turn up on the day. But for the most part, the best way to get a return on your investment is to offer people terms of classes. So maybe it's a class pass, or maybe it's a 6-week intensive that you offer them, some sort of a course or a workshop program, whatever it is. But also looking at maximizing your return on investment by offering one-to-ones and working in corporate settings. The way that the world is right now, when people start to return to the office, when things start to return to normal, that is when businesses, that is when workplaces are really going to need people like ourselves. And what's really incredible, and I've said this on a few lives already, is that when I look at the stats, when I look at what industries are doing really well or predicted to continue to do well, it's all of the things like this, like StreamYard that I'm using right now, all of the tech stuff, educational stuff that's going online, but then also well-being. This is the business to be in. Obviously, we don't want you to be in it just for the money, but I absolutely make no bones about the fact that you deserve to make an income. You know, one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they start in this industry is that they do things for free or too cheap. And I'm still working on that myself. You know, it's something that as healers and that as empaths, and that people just generally in this industry do struggle with. Interestingly enough, I'm running a masterclass on Thursday, and it's going to look at the 3 biggest mistakes that people always make in this industry. And one of them is going to be connected to money mindset and pricing. So while it's in my head, because I'll forget to say it, it's going to be an amazing masterclass. It's fully immersive. So we're going to use music. We're going to use transformative visuals and imagery. We're going to use mindful movement sequences, our famous mindful movement sequences, which allow you to get rid of all the tension in your mind and your body so you can go deep. We're also going to use our gorgeous heart opening meditation. And I'm actually going to take you through the manifesting ritual that I do myself to get rid of my fears, to get rid of the things that block me off, the stuff that I've done before this challenge, the stuff that I've done in order to get the universe all to align so that the contract at Google was just handed to me on a plate. I didn't have to work for that. You know, I'm good at what I do. I've created a beautiful brand. I've spoken loads about the stuff that I had to do alongside the manifestation to kind of put the magic into action, if you like. But those big contracts that now I'm like, I can't believe I did that. They were manifested. You know, that was in my vision. I literally watched somebody go and teach at Google and thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing if I got to do that? Same with ITV, the same with the festivals. I'm going to take you through the manifesting process. We're going to use crystals, we're going to use sage, we're going to use incense and essential oils if you have them. If not, I'll be doing it all for you here and do some visioning. And we're going to start you. My main purpose these past 2 weeks has been just getting as many people as possible to start this journey, whether that be with us or whether if it doesn't feel aligned, that's absolutely fine. Just going out into the world and sharing these beautiful gifts. That's my absolute aim. So the masterclass is like something that was downloaded and gifted to me by source, by universe, whatever you want to call it. And it's something that I'm really super excited about. It's a little bit of a change of plan from what I was going to do, but it feels completely right. So if anyone wants to join me, please do. I'll pop the comment. I'll put the link in the comments, or if you're in the group, I'll pop it in the group as well. But alongside all of that, we're going to talk about money mindset, how to sort of sort that bit out so that you're able to charge appropriately, able to receive money, get on the frequency for receiving. We're also going to talk about those 2 other big mistakes everybody makes when they start out in this industry. So we're going to look at that as well. So that was startup costs. The income potential is massive. The sky is the limit. We're only ever limited by what we believe is possible for ourselves. That's why your mindset is so important. That's why having a mentor is so important. Someone that can hold that vision for you moving forwards, because otherwise you get stuck in that trap that I see so many amazing like yoga teachers, healers, meditation teachers. They kind of get stuck in this place where they're doing everything for free, they're burnt out, they're working a million hours, they're trying all the marketing stuff, but the mindset isn't right behind it. The guidance isn't right behind it. Having a mentor gives you shortcuts to success, essentially. So, oh look, it's Jenny, right? I'd love to join you on Thursday, Charlotte, getting back on track. I can't wait to get more of your modules. So Jenny's just started training with us a couple of months back. You are more than welcome, my lovely. Anne-Marie says, I know I've been blocking myself unconsciously in regards to making money for myself. So glad I've been able to admit it finally. So exactly, that is always 100% the first step is just the acknowledgement that actually we are blocking ourselves. And I've been stuck there for an awfully long time. It's only through these techniques and going deeper and peeling back those layers. And some people, I should absolutely say, doesn't need to take a long time. I've seen people shift like literally in an instant. So it can happen. Just for me, it took a little bit longer to undo all of those wires that I've created in my brain. But it's all working now. We're firing on all four cylinders, which is amazing. And everybody that's going to join me on the masterclass on Thursday, this is going to like supercharge you, give you the best chance to get going. So what else I want to talk about just really quickly before I go is that I've talked about the licensing. I've done that bit already. I think that's everything. Yeah, so I think I've pretty much covered everything that I want to say in terms of how amazing this job is really. It's the reason why I'm saying and I'm pausing is because I actually can't find a succinct way to describe how amazing it actually, you can see it in my face, how amazing it is to do this job, to simply walk alongside people. And people will come back to me, so that be meditation students, clients, and also my beautiful team of instructors. They will come back to me and say, literally, this course changed my life. But what I really want to say is that all that I do, all my job is to walk alongside you. You make the decision yourself. You take the action required. You surrender. You let go. I just create an environment around you that's going to support and facilitate all of that happening. So when people say, normally I'm quite good at receiving compliments. It's something that I've really worked on in terms of my own self-esteem and my own self-worth and my own self-love. What I really noticed about myself was that people would say, oh, you've got nice eyes. And I'd go, oh, no, they're not. Or that's a gorgeous dress. And I'd be like, oh, it's only from Primark. And I'd be blocking my ability to receive because, and that in terms of abundance, in terms of love or whatever else, because I wasn't allowing myself to sit in that space where I acknowledge it myself. So I 100% acknowledge that I've created a beautiful thing and that I'm good at what I do. But the magic comes from the individuals that choose to walk alongside me, that choose to let me guide them. So it's about you. You're the ones that create the change. It is testament to your strength, to your resilience, to your commitment, to your visions and your dreams, and to those people that you do it for. Those of you that are in my Facebook group will know that I posted something this morning asking you, if you feel low, if you feel like your motivation is gone, just dancing, move your body. The receptors are all over our bodies. Our body language and our body and the energy within it sets off this chain of events which impacts our thought patterns, which impacts our emotions, which then impacts our behavior. So it always starts with our body. So moving your body is a really good place to start. Obviously, meditation is going to help uplift you, but also just really taking the time to connect to your own practice. So taking yourself to somebody else's class, experiencing it through a client's eyes helps you re-motivate yourself, but also reconnecting to why you are doing it. So one of my biggest motivators is that I do everything I do so that I can look at my little boy, and I've said this before, when he says to me at some point, I want to be a firefighter, I think it's a YouTuber he wants to be at the moment, but whatever it is he wants to be, I can look at him and encourage him from a place of knowing that the thing that I want to be, I'm really taking action on. I've not let go of my dreams. I can say, go for your big dreams, go for it. Knowing that he'll believe that anything is possible because he sees me going for my dreams as well. The other reason why I do it is to honour the memory of my dad and of my best friend who sadly passed away a year ago now. It's gone so quickly. But you know, like, life is a gift. You're living and breathing in this moment. You are blessed. And yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's horrendous. But I use that as a motivating factor. Like, it's a disservice. It's dishonoring the people that have left this life. 1 minute, Joey. If we're not able to fully move forward in chasing our dreams and having that big vision and taking action and really living life and feeling alive, like, it's important. Do you want to show your face? No? My little boy is here. I'm on a live stream. It's going to say hello or not? No. So that's my cue to go anyway. But essentially what I'm saying is, if you are living, breathing in this moment, you are blessed. The vision that you have for yourself, the desires that you have, please don't waste them. Whether that be you come and train with us, whether you train with someone else, whether you decide to become a neuroscientist, I don't know, I'm not in your head, but just trust your desires are meant for you. Your desires are your higher self, your soul's way of showing you what is possible for you. So whatever you feel, where you watch something and you think, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be amazing if, that is what is possible for you. Please, please, please take action on your dreams. Make the most of the life that we have available to us. So let's have a look. Jenny says, 100% reminding me why this all resonates and why I started training. Exactly. Right. So Gina says, yes, that's incredible. It's a motivator for me too, being a role model for my children, for my kid, and appreciation of life. Exactly. And you know what? I have one, and I don't say this from a point of I'm always happy. That's something that's really important for me to say. I 100% have, life is ups and downs. You know, there's ebbs and flows. We're going to have down days, we're going to have high days, but that doesn't make us any less perfect, any less whole. But what I do know and what I have learned is to sit with my feelings, but also how to re-motivate myself, how to keep myself going. So there's that beautiful balance. We don't deny how we feel. We don't ignore that life is pretty tough. If you're feeling it at the moment and you're like, do you know what, this is hard, it's because it is. But do you know what's even better than that? We can do, in the words of Glennon Doyle, you don't know who she is, you need to look her up, we can do hard things. We can, and we will. But it's all about reconnecting, getting the support you need. Absolutely feeling supported and loved by friends, family, and professionals if that's appropriate, but also just reconnecting to why you're doing it and reconnecting to the gift that is life itself. So I'm going to go. Thank you for joining me. Yes, Emma says we can do hard things. Oh my word, yes we can. So join me Thursday. I'll pop the link in the comments. Please, if you are feeling the call towards our training program, do not miss out. I've had a lot of people say, I really want to do it, but I'm not going to do it till the spring. The package that we've got on right now is one time only, so that it will never be packaged up in that same way, but also the opportunities that are available to us right now, you're getting in ahead of the curve. You know, we're going to be pioneers. We're going to be moving the first ones to really take advantage of this shift in consciousness. People are really seeking that sense of purpose, sense of meaning. People are just desperate for that sense of calm and security, going back to those human needs that I spoke about at the beginning of life. You know, now is the time. So please do contact me before Saturday. So Saturday, the enrollment closes. Anybody that needs, Emma says the time is now 100%. Barbara says, brilliant chat, thank you. She's going to try for Thursday. Marie says, I'm being driven this year by focusing on what's thriving. Exactly that. You know, just paying attention. and this will set me off on another big tangent now, but essentially meditation teaches you to pay attention and to be able to choose where our focus lies. And one of the biggest things that's going to either accelerate you towards your dreams or put the brakes on it is where you choose to place your attention. And I'm not saying it's always easy, but having a meditation practice 100% makes it easier. So have a gorgeous day. Any questions, let us know. If you're watching on the replay, please do also let me know and I'll get back to you. But have a beautiful, what even day is it? It's Monday. Every day's the same. But have a beautiful day and I will speak to you soon. Thank you for joining me.